Chiefs Kingdom, what player should Kansas City cut before the 2020 NFL season? That is the theme of today's show, because I got 6 players the Chiefs could cut to save money against the salary cap coming up right now. Two players on offense, 4 players on defense. We'll do offensive guys first. Eric Fisher, the left tackle. Now, we've talked a couple of times how cutting him after this season seems fairly likely, but you could do it now as well. You know, it'd have a dead cap of $5.5 million or a little bit more, but releasing Eric Fisher, now that it's post-June 1, saves over $9 million in salary cap space. Now, again, I don't think it's super likely this year for a couple of reasons. One, no on-field workout for a guy like Lucas Niang, who you drafted. That could be a possible replacement for him right now. That's why I think next year's more likely. But if the Chiefs want to save some money against the salary cap, it could cut him with a $9 million and save over $9 million. Again, next year his dead cap is just over $3 million before he hits free agency in 2022. I'm fairly certain he won't be on the team next year unless he restructures, but cutting him now could be an option for Kansas City as well, who's pretty salary cap strapped at the moment. This is the offensive line. And keep in mind, too, Eric Fisher, he missed 8 games last year, and he got worked in the Super Bowl by Nick Bosa. Now, a lot of people and a lot of tackles are going to get worked by Nick Bosa over the next decade and a half. But Eric Fisher did not play at the same level as he did in 2018 when he was a Pro Bowler. Now, again, I'm not advocating for the Chiefs to do this. I'm simply informing you guys and letting you guys know Kansas City can save upwards of $10 million if they decide to move on from Eric Fisher. So, you could do it this year, you could do it next year. When should the Chiefs cut Fisher? If you think it's right now before the season, type 20. If you think it's, after the season, before the 2021 season, type 21. I'm going to type 21. I still think keeping him for this year makes the most sense, but I definitely think cutting him next year will be on the table. What's also on the table, and an awesome shirt you should get right now, is this That's Mahomie Patrick Mahomes t-shirt. Hey, let's celebrate the 10-year, $500 million man by getting this shirt at chatsports.com/MahomesT. It's a sweet t-shirt at a good price. I'll put that link in the comments, put it in the description. Pretty cool shirt, chatsports.com/MahomesT. I've already ordered mine. You might see me rep it on a show in the near future. All right, Damien Williams next up here, another player we've talked about quite a bit since they drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round, because let's be honest, his future with the team, pretty murky looking moving forward. Now, his cap hit is cheap this year, under $3 million. You could only save a little bit over $2 million, but look, they got a ton of running backs. I think trading Williams is more likely, but if they can't find a trade partner and decide they don't want to carry all these backs and want to clear a little bit of money, cutting Williams could be an option, because Clyde Edwards-Helaire, whether it's this year or next year, he's going to be your running back one of the future. You've got depth pieces like DeAndre Washington, Darwin Thompson, and Darrell Williams. Like, I'm down to keep Damien Williams this year, but you're probably not bringing him back after 2020, so why not trade him? Why not cut him to clear cap space if that's the route the Chiefs want to go? I'm cool having him, but just know that there are going to be some other options for the Chiefs. Will Damien Williams be on the team this year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'll reluctantly say yes. I'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, so let me know what you guys think, but I definitely don't think he'll be back after this season. And I like Damien Williams, but, he gets banged up a lot in the regular season. The Chiefs aren't a team that runs the football a lot. He balls out in the playoffs. He's done it 2 years in a row where he's kind of in the regular season, and in the playoffs he's like a top 10 running back for whatever reason. But they drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a reason. He's an elite, 3-down type of back, and he's really good in the passing game as well, which is what we know the Chiefs want to do. Williams is decent in the pass game also, but he's older, he's aging. You don't draft a running back in the first round and keep your previous starter long term, especially when it's a kind of a rotation type of back in Damien Williams. I like Damien Williams. This is nothing against him, but they can save some money. I think trading him is more likely and something that the Chiefs will explore, but let's be honest, he will not be back in 2021. I hope the Chiefs report is still here in 2021. If we continue to grow, we will be. That's only up to you guys. Got to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Easiest way to do it, you just hit the big red subscribe button right below the video on your screen right now. Got the latest Chiefs rumors, news. We do mailbags all the time. We do videos like this. We'll have preseason, training camp coverage, regular season, all that good stuff for you guys. More subscribers, it equals more videos. So go ahead and hit that big red sub button. Next player here as we shift to the defense. How about Alex Okafor? You guys have probably forgotten about him. Actually played pretty well last year. Had 5 sacks in 10 games, but finished on IR. The Chiefs got a lot of big contracts. You could save over $3 million by releasing Okafor before this season starts. I like him as a secondary pass rusher, but $7.2 million cap hit for a decent number 2 edge rusher. Probably a bit overpaid. That's fair. Now you're going to eat $4 million in dead cap money, but you can save over $3 million by releasing him. We'll see what happens. I think a lot of this depends, too. Does a guy like Breeland Speaks break out this year? Does Taco Charlton show something? I think once we get into training camp and some of these guys perform, and if the Chiefs feel like, they have other options there, that cutting Okafor could be on the table. I thought Tano Passanio had a breakout season last year. I think he's more than capable of being that other starting defensive end opposite of Frank Clark. Again, with all of these guys, these are all quality players that can contribute for the Chiefs this year, but they're players that have flexible salaries and players that you can cut to save some money. That's also the case with Alex Okafor. It's especially the case with Anthony Hitchens, who, vocal veteran, quality player, but he's clearly overpaid. The Chiefs overpaid him when he had that one nice season in Dallas a few years ago. $12.7 million for Anthony Hitchens. I'm sorry, that's just too much. He's slow. He's not a modern-day linebacker. He's okay against the run. He's not very good against the pass. His best value is as a vocal leader on that defense, and do you really need that anymore since you have Tyrann Mathieu? I'm not so sure. I'm not dogging on the guy. He's a quality vet, but he's overpaid. 12.7 is way too much for a player that produces like Anthony Hitchens. Maybe restructuring him makes more sense, but you can cut him, save $8.5 million. I think Willie Gay Jr. by the end of the season is going to be the best linebacker on this roster. He's a modern-day player that's a mid-4 40 guy who can run and he can cover, play back in coverage as well. It's not 2010. That's the type of linebacker Anthony Hitchens is. And unfortunately, it's 2020. He's overpaid. I think cutting him out of all these guys might make the most sense. What makes even more sense is staying safe out there. We want football, so please just wear a face mask. If you don't have one or if you want to upgrade, we got Chiefs ones available at chatsports.com/ChiefsMasks. The link will be in the comments and in the description. Just click on it, boom, gets to the website. Tons of different variety available as well. We got the single ones, the 2-packs, the 3-packs, these new 4-packs as well, 4 for $29.99. It's the best value you're going to find, and those styles pretty sweet as well. Chatsports.com/ChiefsMasks. Check the description and comments for it. Stay safe out there. We want football in the fall. Damien Wilson, I just mentioned Hitchens in the linebacker position, talking about Willie Gay as well. This, I don't think this is as much likely because, yeah, sure, save $4.5 million, but I actually think he's a little bit better of a modern-day linebacker than Anthony Hitchens is, and he's cheaper. It's pretty simple, right? Cheaper players that give you similar production, which is what he does compared to Anthony Hitchens, are guys that you typically keep around. So you put these two side by side, you tell me, is there a big drop-off from Anthony Hitchens to Damien Wilson? I don't think so. Hitchens is more of a vet, more of that vocal rah-rah guy, but again, that only gets you so far. If you're overpaid, that's not going to keep you around forever. Now, I'm not saying that the Chiefs are going to cut either of these two guys, but it is certainly something on the table. Now, I would keep Damien Wilson. He's cheaper, he's younger, and he's a little bit better in coverage. So that's the route I would go. But if you would rather keep Anthony Hitchens type HW for Damien Wilson, he's cheaper, he's younger. That's just kind of how it goes in the NFL. I'm not saying one of them's for sure going to get cut, but if you're in charge, who are you keeping? Let me know. Daniel Sorensen here, and I'm sure I'm going to get ripped for this one because fan favorite, it does the dirty work. I actually would not do this. I just wanted to outline the fact that he's another guy that can save you almost $4 million in cap space. Let's be honest. When you sign your quarterback to a 10-year, $500 million contract, you're going to have to make some tough decisions at some point. I'm not saying that's this year because Patrick Mahomes' contract doesn't really change the cap this year, but storylines like this are going to be involving the Chiefs over the next several years. Cutting Frank Clark in a couple years might happen because you may not have a choice. Now, I like Dirty Dan. I think in a lot of ways he saved the season last year with that fake punt stop against the Houston Texans. I'm not advocating, I'm not leading a charge to cut Dan Sorensen, and quite frankly, I think it's pretty unlikely because Juan Thornhill's still recovering from injury. You lost Kendall Fuller, so Dan Sorensen is a guy who can play nickel and safety. That's, two positions I just mentioned. He's versatile, he's awesome on special teams. I wouldn't say, hey, just get rid of him, get the $3.75 million. But just know that it is an option. And Brett Veach and this front office, they're going to consider all, types of things like this over the next several years. Any way they can find $1 million here, $2 million there, because that's what you have to do when you pay a franchise quarterback, especially the highest paid guy in the NFL. So I asked this at the beginning. I'm going to ask it again. What player should the Chiefs cut before this season? I just went through some guys. Let me know what player you think Kansas City should let go. And just to recap here, my 6 guys, remember 2 offensive, 4 defensive. Eric Fisher, Damien Williams. I think Williams is more likely there, probably via trade to save that cap money, but wanted to include him on this video. Alex Okafor, I think that depends on what some of the other young guys do in training camp, so we'll see there. Anthony Hitchens is probably my number 1 guy. I would look at saving money there, over $8.5 million or so. That seems like a no-brainer to me. Damian Wilson, Dan Sorensen, those are some guys that can save you $3-4 million as well. Those are 6 guys. Let me know who you would cut in the comments section.